Welcome back to Charlie Survival. Storms, strikes, cyber attacks, supply hiccups, none of them need to be Hollywood level disasters to make life messy, so let's fix that. I'm going to show you how to spend your first £1,000 as a brand new UK prepper to comfortably shelter at home for around a month. No bunkers, no camo face paint, just practical stuff that keeps you warm, fed, watered and connected. By the end you'll have a shopping list, a plan and most importantly the confidence to ride out a UK disaster. Grab a cuppa, hit subscribe if you like no nonsense survival and prepping, and let's start with the most important thing, food. Before we start lobbing tin beans in a trolley and starting a nationwide beans on toast shortage, which is possibly the worst disaster ever, a few ground rules. First, this isn't about surviving in the woods. This is about shelter in place, which is what most of us will end up doing in a real UK emergency. Secondly, one size doesn't fit all. If you've got kids, pets, dietary needs, or you live in the 10th floor flat with no balcony, tweak accordingly. Thirdly, prices change, especially in the UK. It'll be interesting to look back on this video in a decade and see how much things have gone up. You can shave pounds off by buying bulk, hunting sales, or going second hand when it's safe and sensible. Fourth, rotating stock is key. Don't buy things you hate, buy what you'll eat and use. Fifth, skill beats gear, but gear helps when you're learning. And finally, legality. UK rules on blades, fuels and even radios can be odd, so know the law. I'll flag anything that needs extra caution. Food first. Humans can technically survive weeks without food, but after 3 or 4 days without decent calories, you'll be foggy, cranky and less able to solve problems. Food is comfort, morale and energy. Let's aim for about 2,000 calories a day per adult as a rough baseline. The good news, basics are still relatively cheap if you're sensible. Where to buy? If you find it hard keeping up, everything is listed in the Amazon kit list in the description below. Here are some examples of the staples that I would go for. 10 kilograms of rice or pasta mix, £22. 4 kilograms of lentils, beans, peas, dried or tinned mix, £12 to £15. Tinned protein, corned beef, tuna, mackerel, chicken in sauce, £35. UHT milk or powdered milk, £10 to £12. Cooking oil, 1 to 2 litres. Salt, sugar, stock cubes, spices, around £20. Sauces and canned ready meals with meat and veg, £25. Tea, coffee, hot chocolate, comfort snacks, £10. Extras can be instant mash, couscous, oats, £10. I'm not pushing freeze-dried meals yet. Great for long storage and bike packing, but pricey and not what we're targeting with a strict £1,000 budget, which is a lot of money, but it can vanish in seconds if we're not strategic. Instead, go with supermarket staples that stack high and last. Rice, pasta, lentils, they're cheap and calorie dense. Tinned meat and fish give protein and fats, and milk powder helps with tea, cereals and cooking. Oil is critical, you'll need fats. Stock cubes and spices stop food becoming boring. Adding the oats is great for breakfast, and also instant mash is great for 0 effort calories. Store it in a cool, dark place, under the bed, top of the wardrobe, inside sturdy containers. If you're lucky enough to have an underground cellar, you're sorted. If you think you have some golden advice, pop it in the comments or join the community on Facebook at Charlie Survival. I'll leave the link in the description. Once you've got your first month food supply covered, add variety slowly. The standard figure is 2 to 3 litres per person per day for drinking and minimal hygiene. That's about 60 to 90 litres for a solo month, or 120 to 180 litres for a couple. It sounds a lot, but you can get clever. 3 20 to 25 litre food grade jerry cans at around £15 each will give you around 60 to 75 litres. Look for ones with built-in taps. You can purchase them on a counter and dispense directly. Stackable ones save space and avoid cheap non-food plastic that leach weird flavours or chemicals. Next, a gravity-fed filter. In the UK, tap issues usually mean either short-term contamination or supply interruption. You can fill your containers when a boil water notice hits, then run it through your filter. Here's a list of filter items. 1. A professional filter straw like the Sawyer Tap or Sawyer Mini or Brita. They're around £35 to £45. A food grade bucket with lid, £8. Spigot kit, £4. pillowcase or muslin pre-filter, £2 car boot sale. This setup uses a food grade plastic bucket with Sawyer filter. It removes dirt, bacteria, protozoa and microplastics. Viruses are smaller, so boil the water or add purification drops. If you live near farmland or city runoff, add a second stage filter with activated charcoal, or clip on a separate charcoal filter that helps grab pesticides and other chemicals. Boil suspect water for at least 5 minutes, or use water purification tablets like NaDCC or chlorine dioxide, exactly as the packet says. You can also add a UV sterilizer pen or a filter that's rated to remove viruses if you want a non-tablet option. Keep tablets cool and dry and check expiry dates. Remember, you can use baby wipes to save washing water, paper plates to avoid washing up, and bin liners to line your loo bucket if main sewage backs up. More on hygiene later. Cooking and fuel. Your cooker might be electric and out in a power cut. Grab a single burner butane stove, about £30 to £50 online or at a camping shop. Buy at least 10 canisters, around £4 each when brought in bulk. Always use outdoors, or if you need to use indoors in an emergency, use it with great ventilation, like in front of a big open window or by an open door. A battery powered carbon monoxide alarm nearby is essential. Keep the stove away from flammable objects and keep fuel upright and away from the heat. Longer event, save butane for quick tasks and use a rocket stove outside. Commercial models like the EcoZoom Versa run £90 to £120. There are cheaper welded pipe versions around £60 to £70, just make sure they're stable. Or go small with a spirit burner. Biofuel is widely available and it stores well. You likely already own a pot with a lid, a frying pan and a kettle. If not, charity shops and car boots are gold. A pot lid can save fuel and a manual can opener is essential. Get a solid one, not a 99p wobbler. Butane can store well indoors if cool and ventilated. For wood and charcoal, keep it dry and away from the house to avoid pests. If you go with paraffin heaters or petrol generators later, understand UK storage limits and insurance implications. Power, light and communications. Modern life runs on small devices. Even if the grid is flaky, you'll want lights, phone charging for offline maps, documents, photos, radios, and maybe to top up power tool batteries for repairs. Look for a portable power station around 250 to 300 watt capacity. Brands like Bluetti, EcoFlow, Jackery, all powers wait for sales to get the best prices. Pair it with a 100 watt folding solar panel. Realistically, that will let you charge phones and tablets daily, run LED lights for hours, charge AA or AAA batteries, possibly power a small router or radio set. Here's a short list. Rechargeable cells and charger, £35 to £45. Grab a set of NIMHAA or AAA cells. I like the Eneloop style ones, and a smart charger that can run off 12V or USB. Add D-cell adapters if you have lanterns or radios that demand them. This saves a fortune versus disposable batteries. 2 LED lanterns and at least 1 good EDC torch. Headlamps are brilliant for hands-free work. Consider a plug-in emergency light that automatically turns on when mains die. They're handy in hallways. A hand crank or solar emergency radio keeps you tuned to BBC or local stations for updates. Some units also charge phones in a pinch. Add a cheap PMR 446 walkie-talkie pair if you've got a garden or want to hand one to a neighbour. No license needed in the UK, but range is modest. Health, hygiene and cleaning. Don't forget the boring but vital stuff. Power cuts in winter can leave you freezing. Dodgy water equals tummy bugs. Be sure to stock paracetamol and ibuprofen, adults and child version, antihistamines for allergies, loperamide for diarrhea, oral rehydration salts or DIY recipes that include sugar and salt mix, throat lozenges, cough syrups if you rely on them, plasters, antiseptic wipes, bandages, tape. If you need prescription meds, talk to your GP about having a small buffer. Keep them rotated and labelled. For hygiene supplies, things like baby wipes, hand sanitizer, bleach, disinfectant wipes, washing up gloves, bin bags, sanitary products, nappies if needed, Paper plates, bowls and plastic cutlery slash your washing. Invest in a sturdy toilet bucket, heavy duty bin liners and cat litter or sawdust for solids if water is off. On the note of health, as promised, it's time to announce the winners of the first aid kit giveaway from the NHS collapse video. I was genuinely blown away by the stories and tips you all shared, but after reading through them all, there's two comments that really stood out. First up, Adam and Dad, who shared how they keep a catastrophic bleed kit with them at all times and help neighbours in a village full of doctors. That kind of real world readiness and community spirit is exactly what this channel is about. And second, Forge Trek, who is living in rural South Yorkshire and already taking steps by using the video to upgrade their kit and enrolling in a St. John's course. I'd love to see it. A massive congrats to you both. I'll be in touch to send out your kits. For everyone else, there's more giveaways and challenges coming very soon, so subscribe and turn on the bell icon to keep up to date. Tools and miscellaneous. You don't need a full workshop, but a handful of basics makes leaks, breaks and bodges easy to manage. Here's a great place to start. Screwdriver set with bits, adjustable spanner, a hammer, handsaw or folding saw, duct tape, cable ties, super glue, multi-tool within UK carry laws, keep it at home, not in your pocket, a hand crank manual drill for silent drilling if the power's off. These are literally at every car boot sale. Tarps, buckets and toilets are multi-use. For example, the tarp can be a ground sheet, it can be an emergency roof patch, makeshift privacy screens, rainwater capture. Also for rainwater capture, a downpipe diverter kit feeding into water butt is a brilliant semi-permanent upgrade if you've got a garden. Print physical copies of ID, insurance, medical info and important phone numbers. Keep a paper map of your local area. Have small denomination cash if card machines are down. You'll want tenors and pounds, not one single £50 note. Security reality check. Let's talk security. Unlike the US, in the UK, firearms are illegal and aren't a quick buy. Licensing is strict and the process is long. Bladed tools are heavily regulated outside of your home. Focus on these instead. Good locks and window security, outdoor motion activated lights, solar ones are cheap. Curtains, blinds closed at night to hide your glow. Being known as a strong, helpful and watchful neighbourhood deters trouble. Visible presence, radio playing, lights on in different rooms via timers make you look occupied. Know the law before buying any defensive sprays or devices. Many are illegal. Gear without practice is dead weight, so cook on your butane stove before you need it. Learn how fast it boils a litre. Run a blackout weekend. Switch the mains at the fuse box safely. Live off your kit. Make notes of what went right and what went wrong. Practice water filtration and chemical treatment. See what you like and what you don't like. Do a 24-hour ration rotation drill. Eat nothing but your prep pantry. Use paper plates and see what you missed. Track your usage. How many batteries did you burn through? How much water did washing up actually take? Learn first aid. St. John Ambulance and British Red Cross both run affordable courses. Your prep should reflect your reality. If you have kids, you need child safe meds, comfort foods, entertainment, nappies, maybe extra water for formula. If you own pets, a month of pet food, litter, meds. If you have chronic conditions, things like backup medical supplies, battery powered devices like nebulizers, plans for refrigeration of meds if needed. Flats versus houses. If you have no garden, prioritize indoor safe gear. For tiny flats, use underbed storage and vertical space. Rural versus urban. Rural might mean longer waits for repair crews, urban might mean greater crime risk or water contamination. Heat versus cold. UK winters can be brutal in a drafty house. Layers, thermal curtains, hot water bottles, mylar blankets all stretch your heating beyond £1,000. Once you've nailed the basics, you decide the direction. A second month of food, double your pantry, rainwater harvesting, water butts, filtration upgrades, bigger power, more panels, larger battery stations, maybe a small petrol generator if you can store fuel legally, upgraded heating, safe indoor heaters, insulating your home, draft proofing, enhancing comms and community, getting a radio and a transmitter license, local resilience groups, neighborhood watch, learn new skills like cleaning, dehydrating, basic plumbing, cooking, sewing, gardening, bushcraft for fun and resilience. What would be your next step after the essentials are covered? Comment down below or join the Chinese Survival Facebook group and let's talk about it there. That's your first £1,000. Food, water, cooking, power, hygiene, tools and a realistic approach to staying safe in the UK. It's not glamorous, but it's real. Start small, build consistently and test your plan. Hit subscribe and ring the bell icon to stay ready, not worried. Head over to Equilor to sign up to the mailing list. Smash the like button to keep Britain prepared. And if you want a deep dive on water collection and storage, I recommend watching this video right here. As always, stay wild and I'll see you in the next one.